This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I am your host, Gianna, and today we have the opportunity of talking to Jessica Peterson. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you for having me. That was so much fun. I was like dancing over here listening.
Now the guitar going, you're like all excited. You're like, yeah, let's do this podcast.
I know we need to dance like when we start this. So
I know, like a little like intro dance. I agree. All taken with constructive criticism to start incorporating onto the Icon Podcast. Well, Jessica, thank you for your time today. Tell us about you. What's your background? Who are you? Where are you from? How'd you grow up to be a real estate agent? I know it's a loaded question.
Oh, wow. That's actually a really loaded question. So first of all, thank you for having me. I know this is completely raw and real, which is the way I like to roll. Well, my background, I started, I feel really old right now, back in like 1994. Back in the mortgage banking arena, and instantly I was top sales. I moved pretty fast forward, owned a mortgage company. I was in banking mortgage for a couple decades. I'm a certified business coach, life coach, Icon agent. And I originally never got my license to do real estate. As crazy as that sounds, right? So I got my license originally just to expand my coaching. I've been coaching real estate agents and consulting on some big teams and national companies for over a decade. And I had a marketing firm. I marketed development, some of the most expensive real estate in the world. For fun, I'm a forest bather. So anyhow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I've heard of the term before when I worked for my last company called Monk, MONQ, and they sold essential oils, like aromatherapy stuff. And they were big into forest bathing. So that's cool.
That's really cool. Most people don't know what that is. So anyhow, that's why, for fun, I'm playing my golden doodle, hanging out with my daughter or on our boat, But anyhow, forest bathing's my jam.
Your peace, your how you recharge. That's cool, Jessica. So, we're gonna dive into all the things you just touched on when we circle back to work-life balance. But in the meantime, tell me about your story with EXP. How were you introduced to it, and what did that transition look like for you?
Well, it's really fascinating you asked about the work-life balance, because I have a lot of people. I wrote 7 books and I'm a best-selling author and TEDx speaker, yada, yada. And so one of my favorite books is called Create the Perfect Day. Mm-hmm. And it talks about that work-life balance. And it shares my journey, how overnight my husband was in ICU. And it just hit me so hard. So it was so surreal. And at that moment, I realized every day is perfect because we're alive. So why are we not living a life that we want and desire? So I wrote this book. I have people still to this day who write in and say it changed their life, saved their life. I'm really passionate about it. And I realized I couldn't sit there and keep coaching and consulting real estate agents sitting in ICU at the hospital. So I reevaluated my life. My coach at the time said, Jessica, the answer will come what you're supposed to do. And for a little humor, I only have patience for children and pets. Otherwise, I don't have patience. So I just sat there and kept listening for the answer, right? And it finally came to me where a competitor, another coach, but I say there's enough business out there for all good people. So it's not really a competitor. A friend of mine came to me. He's a coach as well in the real estate sphere. And he said, Jessica, I'm doing something with revenue share. And that was my aha moment. So that's why I got my license to participate in the revenue share at EXP Realty.
That's awesome. That's great. And that rev share, stock options, collaborations, there's several streams of income here, which not only, hey, every day's a great day. It's a great day to be alive, but also, hey, if there were anything to happen to me and my family, I can take a step back and not have to be completely commissionless or basically jobless or, no stream of income if I can't sell a home that month. And so that's a pretty cool opportunity they offer here with EXP as well, Jessica. And, what's one of your favorite things when it comes to EXP? We just touched on some of the awesome goals about it, or not goals, awesome assets it has to offer. So what keeps you here? Why do you love EXP?
Oh man, you know, every single real estate company out there has its strengths and weaknesses, right? And when I have conversation with people, I sometimes have flat out said EXP is not right for you. It doesn't sound like it's the right fit. So for me right now at this moment in my life, what I really love about EXP Realty, of course, is a revenue share. It gives an opportunity to not have to work forever with the stock options. But what I also love about it is that whole community, that collaboration. I can reach out to another agent and say, hey, have you ever encountered this? What do you think about this? It's that whole community aspect of it, because we all, you know, again, have our strengths and weaknesses. We can all learn from each other. And I'm always learning. I'm always going to continue to learn.
Absolutely. It's that continuous learning process and being coachable. And, there's 20 hours of new training every week at EXP at minimum, pretty much. And a lot of that training is coming from the best of the best at EXP, those icon agents that are fulfilling their cultural commitment. And we'll get to that as well. But before we do, Jessica, excuse me. But before we do, Jessica, tell me about you, your work-life balance. How do you draw the line between work and play and make sure that you're getting recharged and, that patience isn't always dwindling when it comes to working with big kids / adults, as it is, because they're much cuter when their kids are puppies.
Yes. I have a teenager now. She's almost 18. So when I actually wrote about it in one of my books, Create the Perfect Day. And in there, I learned from a gentleman who was a famous surgeon. He actually saved lives of all these children, and he developed a piece for the brain. He's phenomenal. And we had this conversation, and what he shared with me that day, I happened to go to one of my favorite resources online for personal development and life, improving my life. And it said the same thing. So I knew it was something meant for me to know and to share out there. And he said, Jessica, life is like driving a car. If you get a flat tire, you don't get very far. And so when we look at each tire of our car, it's each aspect of our life. And it doesn't mean we need to have exact time for time. It just means we need to be filled up in each area so we can get to our destination. Mm-hmm. So when I look at my life, I look at each one of those different areas. And then it's about, time blocking, management, and really sticking to it, which can be easier said than done at times. What I love about you guys is you guys can plug in people to help out with that work-life balance. I'm a huge fan of, teamwork, collaboration, supporting one another.
Absolutely. And, like you said, like you talked a little bit about like the leveraging and supporting. And so Jessica, as a high producer that you are, and you've got a family and friends and all things, and, you like to step back and enjoy life a little bit. Do you have a VA? Sorry, virtual assistant?
I do have a virtual assistant.
Okay, so what are some of the tasks that you leverage out? How has that virtual assistant helped completely change and kind of launch your business model a little more?
Oh, that's a great question. So I have different people. I have people who open doors for me. Like if I can't get over to go open a door, she is the one. I also have a VA who does my transaction coordination. And then I have another VA who's just there for when I need anything, like, hey, call and check on this, or I need you to go ahead and post this or respond to this or check my emails. So each person has their own role and own part within the company.
Okay, awesome. That's great. And, what are some of the things, Jessica, that maybe you struggled to let go of as far as control, but then when you finally did, you found that there was some more success in that sector?
Probably the top two I'll add a third one in there. Probably the top two was actually having someone else go open a door for me, because when I work with my customers, they want to work with me. So I really had to learn I can train other people, to work with me and my methods. So opening doors, showing homes, people on my team. And then the other aspect is probably the transaction coordination. So following through on a file and everything else. Amanda's been amazing for that for me. And then the other one is probably allowing some of my emails going through my emails, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's probably another. And the latest one is video. So, so I have another agent who's going to be onboarding my team and allowing her to go ahead and have more control of the video aspect.
Awesome. No, that's awesome. And those are great things that Jessica's taken off her plate to be able to up production and hit this icon status. And speaking of Jessica, let's talk a little bit about your market, what the average housing price looks like, and about how many homes it takes you to cap.
Ooh, that's a loaded question. So I cover a wide range of area. So just north and south of Sarasota. Sarasota is like the hot market. So it really does vary and range on each area, like the average and things that nature, and to go ahead and cap. But if someone's really wanting to look at capping over here, I would probably say on average, depending on price point, about probably 50 to 60 deals to go ahead and cap. I did over 60. Probably go ahead and cap. And the average price point, it just really varies, but again, different areas, but probably just go ahead and say probably about 450, 500.
Okay, awesome. So, and then about how many of those houses do you have to sell to be able to hit your cap? Not the 20 transactions after, but like, what would that be? Like 7 to 10?
No, well, it all depends. So there's so many different factors. Like if you have people on your team that you pay percentage to, whether it be your VA or not, someone opening the door. But anyhow, just to go ahead and kind of be safe, I would say probably an average 40 to 50, okay. 40 to 50. Yeah.
Sure. Awesome. And Jessica, moving past that, there is a cultural commitment, right? We touched on that earlier with all the training that's new to EXP World every week. A lot of that is taught by icons. So are you a teacher? Are you a mentor? Do you vet other icons? What is your cultural commitment and why do you choose that?
Ooh, great question. So I do have relationships with some other icons. We do communicate on a regular basis. And we just brainstorm ideas off of each other. I am a mentor as well and had the privilege to, mentor some amazing agents over at EXP. I have done some teaching and been asked to go ahead and teach some more. So we'll definitely go ahead and see that too. And then as far as my culture, it's a lot based upon my values. So I really have values: givers, contributors, focused, dedicated, optimistic, loyal, and honest. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's great, Jessica. And my next question when it comes to you and being an icon agent is, man, what is your favorite part about it? It comes with so many benefits: a big glass shiny trophy, the opportunity to go to EXP Con, shareholders, your cap back in stock. So why do you keep setting icon as a standard for yourself? Why are you striving for that year after year now?
Well, I'm probably very unique in the sense it wasn't really my goal. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, well, why not? Right? I've taught and coached other agents and they became icons. So I just wanted to do it for myself. Really, my passion, though, is to support other people and their dreams in the real estate world. So the real estate agents I get to work with, I want to know what their dreams are. And if they want to hit icon, I want to help them be a part of it. So that's probably more my passion, is to help others hit the level of success versus myself.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. That's great, Jessica. And, it's great to find passion in it. And you kind of did it without it being a goal. But, now that you've hit it, of course, now it's going to become a standard for yourself because you want to keep teaching and you want to keep that, status of being the top 2% in the company, because it's credibility, and not to mention that money back in your pocket is a huge benefit that EXP has to offer.
Yes. The more money that flows in, the more good we can do, right?
Yes, I love that. And Jessica, my next question is going to be for anybody that wants to icon their first year, and maybe they're a rookie, maybe they're just new to EXP and they've been in the game for a while. Is it possible to icon your first year with EXP? What are some goals they need to be setting out for that, or what mistakes should they be avoiding at all costs?
They absolutely can hit it. Their first year, I think their biggest challenge is going to be, if they're a brand new agent, is communication, because a lot of people are going to know that you're a new agent. Mm-hmm. And it really comes down to communication. I would also say, if you really want to hit that icon status, invest in hustle. You're going to have to hustle your time. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to invest a lot of time. And you also want to invest with the right coaches and trainers to get there.
Absolutely. And it's who you surround yourself with. That proximity is power, and holding yourself accountable, writing those goals down and making sure you hit them on time when you mean to, and everything else that comes with that. And that's why coaches and those mentors are an amazing asset offered by EXP as well. And Jessica, were you ever skeptical of EXP when it was first introduced to you?
Not really. I was one of those people. I have a different background than most. I coach and consulted many agents at many different companies. And when I saw what EXP Realty stood for, no, I just knew it was the one. Now, of course, I had big leaders of other companies. I'm honored reach out to me and want to chat with me. I'm always open to conversations. Definitely always open, but nobody else really fit what I wanted. And I challenge everybody here to really think about their future, because again, as I mentioned, when my husband was in ICU, I couldn't sit there and keep working. So really look at what have you done to create different revenue streams of income. So one of my niches is short-term rental investments like Airbnbs, VRBOs, that sort of nature, right? So I've got income from that and I help people in that arena. And then I've got my revenue share. And then I've got, my books, and I've got other different, streams of income of companies I coach and consult for. So I challenge everybody, because maybe you do want to work the day until the end, but some people, you may have an emergency and you kind of need to have that emergency plan in place. What are you going to do to keep bringing in that revenue?
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. And that's just another opportunity that EXP has to offer. We're just hitting them all here, with those multiple streams of income. And Jessica, for somebody that may be watching right now and they have seen the greener grass at EXP, they've heard all the good things about it, but their broker's like, oh, you don't want to go over there. They're a pyramid scheme. They're a cult. So they're afraid to make that leap and break up with their broker and come over to something with, high risk or doesn't seem legit. What would you have to say to them to kind of get them to take that leap and make that move?
That's a great question. I love the phrase break up with your broker. Breakup station. We're not here to ruin relationships, but I always say, always be open, right? And at the end of the day, really look at what is it you want in your goals and really dive into a company. Don't just take other people's word for it. And I have that philosophy, not just in real estate or EXP. It kind of even goes with people. Someone may say horrible things about someone, and then you get to know and think, wow, they're a really good person, right? So when someone sits there and bashes other companies, what's their real intention? And is it really, do your own research and have that method in your whole life, period. Anything you hear about any person, faith, business, anything, do your own research.
Absolutely. That's awesome, Jessica. And, get involved, go straight to the source. You owe it to yourself. Do ask questions, do try to poke holes in the model. Find out for yourself, go to your local agent, go to somebody that, you'd seen on this podcast and like and trust them and think you'd get along with them, and see what their upline can do for you. That's an important thing to look into when deciding to make the move over here. And if you have got questions about it, guys, definitely reach out to Jessica. That's what EXP is all about, and the morale and the community here. Maybe you've got questions about real estate. Maybe you've got questions about EXP. Reach out, get connected. We live in a virtual world, so you've got every means to do that just at your fingertips. And Jessica, are you going to be at EXPCon in Vegas?
Ooh, I was just at shareholders. I'm traveling so much right now. I actually have 3 trips going out in a private jet next week too.
Wow.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Well, if you are, I would love to get connected with you, catch up and see, all things business has changed since our interview through October. And, is there anything that you want to leave the listeners with today as we wrap it up? It was an awesome podcast, about 20 minutes long, didn't feel that long. What would you like to leave listeners with to think on, or reach out to you, or, anything you want?
Oh, that's really sweet of you. Well, I challenge every single person out there I'm really on a mission to educate people, not only create the perfect day, but the lifestyle they want. So I challenge every single person out there to be really clear on what you want, because the more clear you are, the more likely it's going to happen. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't really know what that is. And I like to dive into really deep questions to really discover that. Some people say, well, I just want to be rich and make money. Well, what does that look like? I don't know, how much money? Is that net? Is that gross? What good will you do with the money? What does your lifestyle look like? So really think about the lifestyle. And I'm really about empowering people. You know, I've spoken to some millionaires who've said, wow, we just want to live in a tiny home. Or some say luxury to me is to go ahead and be in a cabin and have peace and quiet. It's not just always about money. I want every single person to think about what lifestyle do they want to have and create it and see if EXP is the right fit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And see if it's a model for you and to live the work-life balance that you want to live or strive for, or even help you start moving in that direction, right? It's not a night and day switch. It's not literally a on and off button. It's something you're going to have to work towards. See if EXP's model has that, bright light for your future. And if you guys have questions, please reach out to Jessica or check out some of my other podcasts to get a good feel for EXP and if it's the right fit for you. And Jessica, I hope to see you in Vegas, but if not, I am sure I will be running into you at some other event, some other place, because 'tis the industry and 'tis EXP.
Can't wait to see you and give you a big hug again. Have an amazing day, everyone.
Bye, Jessica. Thank you. Bye-bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.